So today we're going to start from chapter 5, the Bodhisattva uh, Charyavatara, the way of Bodhisattva life. But here, I think the difference is not talking orderly. Um, it's as a chapter 5. So it's more talking about disorder for order for like a compare with the lamrim, what need beginning, what need end, what need middle. So I just mix it up, all these the stanzas in chapter 5. So again, let you know is using this talking the disorderly based on the order for the practitioner, what need first again and what need the middle and last. Um, and as chapter name called the guiding the introspections or guiding alternates. Um, then it's good to know the definition of introspections, which mentioned in this textbook. Um, it will be the number 108, stanza 108. It says, in brief, this alone is the definition of introspections. The repeated examination of the state of one's body and mind. So examining body and mind, and then but in Tibetan word it says examining again and again. Oh yeah, repeated. Sorry, the repeated examinations of the state of the one's body and mind. The examining what actually. Within the body and mind, we need more examining in the mind. The examinations here is more as talking about the introspections or alternates. You kind of like guiding it, you kind of watching it, right? And then watching that, if the mind is toward more associating with the mental afflictions or the mind toward more negative, then try to stop it. And then even minds more neutral, like I said, not associated with any mental afflictions, not any virtues. Just being there as a neutral is also the wasting time. So therefore, watch the minds are remaining as more negative or neutral. That's how we have to watch it. And then if mind is more uh, toward to virtues, that's good, let it be. And then if mind is toward more negative and neutral, just try to stop and apply or to like let it associate with virtues. Let think virtues, right? That's how we need to practice. The introspection means mainly that talking. And Kadamba Master said, when we have to examining the mind, but in generally every single time, yes, but special when we are alone, that's the special time that we need to really watch the mind. And then the introspections is samparajana, that's called, right? So it's part of the wisdom. And what is opposite of non-introspections. Introspection and non-introspections. Non-introspections we consider as part of the mental reflections. Even its intelligence, great wisdom, Yeah, even it's intelligence, get wisdom, but as well as like that wisdom, um, yeah, we not call non-interpretation as wisdom. Any intelligence we not call as wisdom. So the intelligence more connecting with the mental afflictions, then uh, it's intelligent but non-interpretations, which is part of the mental afflictions. It's important to know the between different these two. For example, we have a very sharp the sharp faculties or the sharp mind. Every can catch up easily and then knows very detail is clear. This kind of sharp mind we do have it, but with this sharp mind, whenever they're associating with the anger, always misusing that sharp mind. Therefore, it's not we call wisdom, even it's not introspections. We call it non-introspections. It's functioning as like introspections. It's watching the mind when the sharp minds associating with the anger or attachment, it's kind of watching mine and then it's examining it actually. But what the towarding it's more negative, right? It's more engaging negative action, and it's harms to self and others. So therefore, it is not the introspections, and it is not the wisdom. And then introspection here, what we're talking is part of the wisdom, and then um, that introspection after you examining it, when you examining the mind, and then mind again is associated with the negative emotion that's turned into non-introspections, and then it's associated with the virtues that is and introspections. The real introspection in it is really the wisdom in that, right? So you knows the introspection means you knowing exactly what is benefiting to you. When it's associating with the mental affliction, then whatever you knows is not knowing that what just harms to you. So therefore, something that the intelligence knowing harms to self and other, that not wisdom, not imperfections, and other ones, yes. So whenever that the sharp mind is associating with the examining or associating with the virtues, then it's imperfections and it's wisdom. So what talking here, wisdom or imperfection, we need it. That kind of things, right? Okay, so the briefly definition of this, and then when we need to be examining our mind and body, and then what is real, the introspection means, right? Okay, okay. Again, and one more time, let me repeat it. It's examining the my mind is associated with the virtue or not. If not, then what we have to do is stop it, right? And then let is change or think associated with the more virtues. And when we examine it, it's associated with the virtues, then it's let it be. That's how we need to. That's all reason why we're doing examinations. Sorry. Okay. Um, And this is the second last the stanzas of this chapter. But as we talking about it, we need to know at the very beginning the definition of imperfections. And then next, uh, the stanza 102. Again, the 102 and 103 is talking about the the spiritual teacher, relying on a spiritual teacher. And that's also compared with our stage of the path. It comes way beginning. So therefore I call it I take it way beginning. So it's helping us knowing that how to examining it. It's either we are relying on a book or teacher. And then within these two, the teacher is the most important than book. So therefore, the second, the 102 is talking about never, even at the cost of one life, should one forsake spiritual friends who observe the vows of Bodhisattva and who will verse the matter of the Mahayana. So the line, even at the cost of one life, should one forsake the spiritual who observe the vows of Bodhisattva. That's the line, right? And then Chopal, the part of that what translated as a Tibetan word. This is the Sanskrit, right?
102. Let's check.
Okay. It says in here let takpar giving in the so always rely on teacher who is being the well knowing about the Mahayana path, and then who always engage the Buddhist bodhicitta as their main practice. So then try not let it go. That teacher always engage this teacher or accompanying with this teacher as much as you can. This kind of things. It's even don't give up for okay, then read it.
This is the same thing. The 102 here is the Sanskrit, and it only differs like when he makes a footnote and it says the Tibetan is different here, but for 102 it's the same. It says never, even at the cost of one's life.
I know what Tibetan words that said there.
Right, no, that's I'm saying though.
Are
like
not different?
there's no footnote here. Like this says 129,
Okay.
and that means that 102 is the same in the Sanskrit and the Tibetan. They don't differ.
I see. Okay. Okay, then let's keep that way then. And it says the observe the vows of Bodhisattvas. And then who will verse in the matter of the Mahayana. So that's defining the what teacher you should rely, right? And then but it says must rely on teacher. And then also the 103, so one should learn from the Shri Sambhavi Vasmoka respectful behavior toward spiritual mentor. So okay, yeah, leave it there. That's fine. The 102 and 103 they explain what teacher you should rely and how you should rely. The especially 103 giving us example about the Shri Sambhavi Moksha, right? Sambhavi Moksha. So the person, this person, they mention in the sutra how he engaged the spiritual mentor or spiritual teacher. So that I'm not going necessary to mention here because it's too much for us. But basically, yes. Even we are not follow as Shri Sambhav we were moksha, but still that we're saying here teacher is important. And but if teacher is important, which teacher who should I rely in order to understanding the spiritual path, right? The spiritual path. Uh, so then it's defined it here. Who knows? Especially here, say who knows the Mahayanas, the path very well, the well known of Mahayana path, and then it says the taking absorb vows of Bodhisattva. Actually, it's a bodhicitta. The who are achieve bodhicitta is the best or not, who is interesting or who are engaging bodhicitta's practice. Those the qualified teacher. And then as we are generally seeking makes this life better or being more compassionate being or what call the more peace and calm in this life, then not necessarily that much qualified teacher we need it. But what we needed teacher is at least they have three qualities. The well-known, whatever they're talking about, and then being more disciplined, right? Well disciplined, and then what call the either we say compassion or um, pure intention. The pure intention refers here is uh, uh, good heart. Yeah, the good heart. We can say good heart. So yes, these three is the most the at least the teacher which we are relying needed these three qualities, at least these three qualities. And otherwise, if you are relying on the teacher who's do not have these three qualities, then not really receive benefit. Even they share same message like either with the Dharma or any spiritually path or like some kind of the guiding about um, finding peaceful or overcome by suffering, whatever, right? So it's not really receive the benefit exactly. So therefore, it must. And within these three quality, the well-known and well-disciplined and good-hearted. So the well-disciplined is the most important. And then second, we need a good heart. Then the well-known is third, actually, right? If you make it order. So look at first their behavior and then disciplining. So and then second, look at their quality of the good-hearted. So if people are missing the good heart, whoever teaching, then they might whatever they try to talk, um, whatever they do is like how we say if they do, I don't know, you all familiar with the eight worldly concerning or not. So if they teach with the eight worldly concerning, then we are not really receiving benefit. We enjoy it, right? We enjoy it because whoever the teaching teacher, they're teaching to the students with their eight worldly concerning. They will teach what they like it, what they wish to hear it. So, and then of course you're enjoying at the moment, but in a long-term benefit will not receive anything, right? So if you're looking the long term benefit, then we shouldn't rely on teachers who are always teaching us what we wish to hear it. So that could be one skillful method with the beginning part, but but always teaching every time teaching as like a what they wish to hear it, then that's not really uh, like a good way to do that, right? That definitely the teachers associated with it really concerning. Um, Yeah, that's the regarding here. Always just look at the discipline and warm heartedness, and always a good heart. The good heart will be at the beginning part, the skillful way that they might talk to you what you want to hear it, what you want to wish to hear it, and then talking exactly it is. Then slowly, slowly, it just giving you instructed you what you need it instead of what you wish to hear it, right? What you so more not really focusing what you like to hear it, more focusing what you need to hear it. So anyhow, at the beginning part, they skillful method they use that at the end, and they will brings you exactly the path or what really you have to be have it for in order to having peace and calm or becoming compassionate person. So that's the different teacher, right? So therefore, it's important to find out. So then again, a high name will be not necessary to give you all this like a benefit, and even like a lower um, low rank or not a well-known person is not necessary to give you the benefit as well. But we don't have a worry about that. The person who is like the lower rank or not famous, we're not running after that. Then not that much worry. More we will not do that mistake. Actually, what I'm trying to say, well, we will not do that much mistake with the lower rank or not a well-known person. We will do mistake with the well-known person and high ranker, high positions being or people, professor or reincarnation or Geshe high level or whatever, right? So the name will be sometime diluted us, which we're not seeing exactly what the qualified or not qualified teacher, right? So even the high level positions, but still we have to examine it, it's qualified or not. It's important. Okay. So this is the one things I like to share. And then another things, sometime we are analyzing that because of the two different tradition, the between student and teacher, the which is first, right? Teacher is first or student is first. And then I hear here saying from others, in the West, um, student is first. And based on that, we have to teach. In the East, not every East, right? It's like I say, the Buddhist traditions or some the others, the country, the teacher is first. Teacher will be change you. You have to follow exactly instruction of the teacher. Whatever teacher said it, you have to do that. So in West, the student is first. Therefore, what we have to talk or give instruction based on teacher, right? And then we still need to check it out. Is there any common way that we can engage it, or the important is exact here the examination, examining the instead of just follow as a tradition, right? So okay, that's you should check it, and then but here it says engage the teacher for rely on a spiritual teacher which is qualified. Okay, so just bring and then think how it's important. Book is important, or teacher is important. Check it. So our egos and our ignorance might be sometimes not lead us exactly what happening, right? So sometimes we don't want to associate with any company and any others, the beings. Therefore, just keep reading book, and then the book will brings you so many wisdom, but still, as you are reading book, you are relying on some being who wrote the book, right? So and then okay, yes, you are relying on that being, right? So and then and it's still even like the book is very much brings you the limitations, the wisdom. Whatever wrote there, you see whatever you read it, that much you get it, right? So what they wrote it, that much you understand. So it will bring you limitations. What called wisdom. Um, that's all the reasons. If you want to know clear and totally, completely, and it's best rely on teacher. Okay. Anyhow, and then skip the talking about the 103, which is the example. And then after you rely on teacher, then what you need to do is saying that, right? Then you need to study. This is all the reason we are relying on teacher or finding the qualified teacher and then follow their instruction. Okay, the one thing I just like to share that regarding the teacher, right? It's the relying on teacher means follow the instructions, whatever they're taught, right? Um, but that part is also telling us necessary need a teacher or not, right? To follow the instruction. If you're not following the exactly instructions, then not necessarily need a teacher. So there no reason to have teacher. And then if you rely on teacher, then we must follow the instruction, exactly instruction. Then we will receive the benefit, right? So that's what is I just comes in my mind in the moment. Okay, so then next, um, the verses 103 up to the 106 is talking about uh, the study is important and what textbook you should read regarding that. Shantideva's the main subject of this book is Bodhicitta. And then as we take as like a compassion, great compassion. So regarding that, what book you have to read it, and then how you have to studies. This kind of things talks in this line. Okay, Chumbe help me to read it.
Which line, Geshela?
103.
This and other advice of the Buddha should be known through reciting the sutras. Just
Uh,
continue.
oh yes, please.
104, the practices are found in the sutras, therefore one should recite them, and one should study the primary downfalls in the Akashagarbha Sutra. 105, one should definitely study the Shiksha Samugaya again and again, because good conduct is explained there in detail. 106, alternatively, one should first look at it briefly, and then carefully read the Sutra Samugaya composed by Arya Nagarjuna.
Okay, it's mentioned here three book that refers with the knowing the great compassion, right? And then within these three book, one is the sutra, Akashgarbha Sutra. In this sutra, it talks about the bodhicitta, and then also talks about the bodhisattva vows and all the downfall and so on and so on. And then Shiksha Samojaya is composed by the Atisha himself. And then Sutra Samuchaya is composed by Nagarjuna. And Nagarjuna do have also Shiksha Samochayas. composite Shiksha Samajaya, the two kind of Samajaya, right? And then basically the mention these books are here, and then basically saying need to study, and then also you know mm, uh, yeah, it's not conflict. The above saying the rely on a spiritual teacher. Now here saying reading book is not conflict, right? We need a both. So and then the reading book and study need a guide. Therefore, we need a both. Okay. So whatever. Regarding here, I can say we should read the book, anything it's helping us in our daily life, right? So, and then is there any book it's more causing harm or increasing our attachment and anger or jealousy? Then better it's not read it, it's harming it. So we need to select it, the book, which benefit or which not benefit, based on look at that, it's harming in your life or not. So harm part means like it brings you more suffering or brings you more happiness. So and then again the happiness we are not looking at short term, right? Long term happiness that always we have to look at. And not just self as well. So read that book, which is bring happiness both self and other. And then try not read that book, which is helps to self and other to cause more having suffering, right? So the read the book, the part of in order to study better, and then here Shiksha Samojaya we say read it again and again. That is also unique instruction here. A special also the Buddhist practitioner which we doing in the monastery, and all our master are guiding us saying you have to read book again and again. You have to study again and again continuously. And there's a saying, right? Because it is whatever the subject matter of that book, we need it always. And then if you read more again and again, and it's you will remember better. One time reading, then you will not remember. Then you might be missing that the good path or good guidance, right? Therefore, reading again and again is important for heart. And then reading again is not only for the remember those, right? Reading again also helping us to knowing many different things, right? So usually our master are saying, whenever you read first time, you know something, but when you read second time, you will know which you not knows the first time you read it. When you read it third time, again you will know some other things. Why saying this? Because when we read the book, our mind is not really calm, and or our mind is associated with some kind of distractions. So and then you read very fast, and then while you're reading fast, and then we are skipping that many the understanding the meaning or many words as well. So therefore second reading, then you will see the word which you not see you skipped it before, and then second reading also you will know the meaning more meaning you will so understanding more meaning than before, right? This is how I say. If you read 10 times the book, you will understand 10 different meaning. It says it. So, and then it makes sense for me because so when the first time when we read the book, our attention is not that strong and not that much absorbing, and with the distractions. And then sometime, how we escape the meaning of the book or a word of the book, that we think, okay, when we like some words which is familiar with us, then we're escaping it. So okay, I know this word, but sometime the words it's the familiar with us, but the connection with the word is not the same meaning, right? One word, when we connect it with another word, it turns to a different meaning. So therefore, even the words which is familiar with you, not skip it, and whole line, even if you're familiar with you, do not skip it, right? So the read careful, even you familiar with it. So that familiarity that makes us to escaping both the line and word. That's the way we are also missing some kind of meaning of this book, right? So therefore, saying read again and again. Especially the Shiksha Samochaya is here the Shantideva composed it, so that the subject matter of the Shiksha Samochaya is more quoting the Buddha Sutra, or talking more about the source of all this teaching of the Shantideva's the Bodhisattva way of life. So he composed the both book as the same meaning, same subject, but the difference is the way of Bodhisattva life, Bodhisattva Avacharya is more applied to reasoning, gives logic and example. And then the Shiksha Samochaya is more composed as reading the source of those meaning. Therefore, reading both, when you read the Shantideva's like a Bodhisattva way of life, then also it's good to read the Shiksha Samochaya. I don't know if it's in English or not, because it will let you know some source. And then also, not only source, is a different way to talk. And that's also, we will understand different meaning. So that's how he composed. One composed with the logic, one composed with the source. All the Buddha's teaching, the quoted from of the Buddha's teaching, and some others scholar as well. So the Shiksha Samochaya actually, as you know, the Shantideva is not too much showing up how much he is qualified and scholar. That's the way people do not know he's the great practitioner and scholar, right? Then when he began to talk that Bodhisattva way of life, then at the end people knows now. Now at the end, and then when the mentioning here the Shiksha Samoja in this text, then all the scholar of Nalanda searching about Shantideva to finding this text where he put this text actually, right? So they couldn't found it, the Shiksha Samoja text, because they're not printed. He wrote it and then put it in where he lived in Nalanda. After he complete the Shantideva text, he leave the Nalanda because, as you know that the story, it feel like there are many scholar or pandit are being more jealous to him, or they kind of disturbing anyhow. So, and then all the Nalanda Pandit, now after they knows that who is Shantideva, and it's too late, okay, because he already left from Nalanda. Therefore, the monastery sent 2 or 3 monks to find the Shantideva to understanding where the Shiksha Samoja's books there, where is it, and then when also they have the confused between that it has a 10 chapter or 9 chapter. Some scholars saying that the 9 chapter. So some scholars saying it has a 10 chapter. So asking this question and finding the Shiksha Samaja, and then they went to look at the Shantideva, and then they found it, and then Shantideva answer was, okay, it has a 10 chapter, and then Shiksha Samaja is in my room. I put it in the what called um, the roof, the between roof. So then they come back and they found it, the Shiksha Samaja. And again, the one Shiksha Samajaya composed by Nagarjuna shouldn't be confused between these two. Okay, anyhow, so it's basically saying study more and then read the book. Special when you study the Shantidevas where Bodhisattva alive, and then read those books as good, Shiksha Samajaya and Nagarjuna Sutra Samajayas. Nagarjuna Sudra Samachaya is also similarly that it says Samachaya means collected, right? The collected. So collected sutra. It's kind of like that collected all the Buddha's teaching, the quote by quotes. And that's not only that, he also explained about that, right? Okay. Um, yeah, that's it. And then how to study and what needed, we share many time. I'm not going to repeat it here. Okay. So then next, it's any spiritual practice. That's my note actually. It is essential guards and discipline one's mind. So look at the notes, and then the note will be tell us why I'm teaching disorder, right? Mm, okay, so now it's the general importance of the guiding the minds. Those who wish to, can Shubha help me to read it?
So am I reading from just one or 19?
Just, just one.
Those who wish to protect their practice should zealously guard the mind. The practice cannot be protected without guarding the unsteady mind.
Okay, so it's not giving reason. Um, okay, anyhow, it says in general, whatever you do practice, actually, it's not necessary like a here, the which is refers with the great compassion or six perfections. There here is more talking about connected with the great compassion and six perfection, and actually Bodhisattva is the way. Bodhisattva is part of the Bodhisattvas, um, or Mahayana, right? So not only that, but I'm thinking anytime, any study, any practice, um, even you do yoga practice or medicine, study medicine or study engineering, whatever, right? So it important part is guiding the mind. It's important because most anything is connected with the mind actually, right? And then our basic activities in daily life, if we watch it, most of activities is driven by the mind, except our habitually doing something. It's not really directly intended to do that. So it's habit that's doing, like so when we walk, we move the hand. It's kind of a habit. That's not necessarily the mind lead it to do it. It is a habit. Some part that habitually we're doing it, It's not the driven by the mind. Other things, whatever we do, or that's always associating with the mind. Sitting or standing, eating or sleeping, right? Walking or talking, whatever. Look at the things. As always, the mind comes first. The mind said, I want to get up. Then you are standing. Mind says, I want to sleep. Then you are sleeping, right? So mind says, I want to eat. Then you are eating. So they were always, it's kind of like driven by the mind. Therefore, as you have to change all other things in our daily activities, we need to change the mind, which can sometimes as a intentions, the mind sometimes as an intention or motivations. Uh, so sometimes it's like it's kind of just driving it, right? So um, there, that's the reason. And if we were to change it, our daily activities, the body, speech, minds, actions, then actually we have to watch the mind. That's how we can change better. So watch the mind and change the mind. Because all the actions are following the mind. All the the accept the habit. So all the body actions are following the mind, as well as the verbal actions are the following the mind. Then if we don't want to do any mistake through by our the physical actions, then it really have to be watch the mind and change it. It will definitely help us to not what call to do like any mistaken actions, right? Or not cause you have a regret in future. It's not harms you and others if you continuous watch mind and change it. So therefore, it's very important here to say those who want to protect the practice, right? Their practice. The protecting is through by the watching the mind or guide the mind. So and then the practice will be the better. So because of that, you knows the mind towarding which way, right? So negative you will stop, and then positive you will be continuous, let it be. So that's the way our practice making better or protecting it. Um, and then said the practice cannot be protected without guiding the unsteady mind. So, and then briefly I mentioned like everything's driven by mind. That's I think for enough for you to understand why saying to guide the mind or change the mind, right? Mm. Um, So then next I'll quote it like the verse 19 to the giving reasoning why guiding the mind is indispensable. What was it?
Indispensable.
Mm-hmm. Indispensable. Yeah. Chuba, help me to read it.
Just as those standing in the midst of boisterous people carefully guard their wounds, so those standing in the midst of evil people should always guard the wounds of their minds.
Okay. I think resume travel. Uh, it's basically saying in- before you if you just let it be without any the guidance your mind and whatever thoughts comes, then you take actions without any examining, then most of the time it's always towarding to cause of suffering, right? So, and then even we are very careful, like Simone wounded, because we don't want to be more suffering because of that, then why not you should take why not we take care of the which having big suffering more than wounded, right? So and then again, as you know, how we having the we towing the more cause of suffering if we not guide our minds, right? So because if we're not guiding our minds, and then it's our minds more flowing as our habit and more associating with I think like, again habitually associating with any kind of intentions, right? So that's natural is most of the time associating with the mental afflictions, right? It is natural. You just let it be, whatever things you do it, then it's naturally always associating with the mental afflictions that always brings us the suffering because all the mental afflictions, we very strongly or confidently saying that mental afflictions are the main cause of suffering, right? And then what are the mental afflictions I mentioned earlier? So previous class, all these six root and then 20 secondary mental afflictions. All those are the cause of suffering, definitely, right? So whenever you think through by your reasoning or experience, you will understand. So therefore, it is definitely confirmed. It is the cause of the suffering. And then our intentions, which is leading all these actions, are associating with one of the metabolisms or two or three metabolisms together, then always driving on a negative thought, which is um, causing you more suffering in the future. Therefore, attentionally, and then also the previous topic is the conscientiousness, right? So the conscientiousness and these two are very much connected. The conscientiousness is always be mindful and careful in our daily activities, special for mind, right? So for that, we need two kind of things: alternate introspections and the recollections, right? So without these two, it's very difficult to practicing a conscientiousness or very difficult to always mindfully care for our daily activities. So, but therefore, the necessary needed the recollections and introspections. So that's how connected the previous chapter and this chapter, right? So it's actually basically saying if you want to the better have careful in your daily activities, then you needed introspections, you needed recollections, and then within these two, talking here, what is the introspections and how it's important, right? So that's the reason every time we need more careful with our activities, then always we have to examining our the body, speech, mind, action, special mind. And that's how we can be careful. And once we carefully taking any actions, there will be having less suffering, not cause suffering to self and other both, right? So therefore, it's giving reasoning. These lines, the 19 is giving reasoning why, right? So the guiding our mind. So and then otherwise, if you not guide, you will have big suffering. If you guide, you will have more peace. That's the simple meaning. Yeah. Okay. And then Chappelle, we can move to next. It's a fault. Now here, two parts we are examining. Understanding how important the introspections, right? How important or why we need to apply in our daily life, why I have to use this in my daily life. Then it's a, if you do not careful your mind, then what faults happening? If you more careful your mind, what benefit you receiving? So understanding faults and receiving will help us to understand that it's important to have introspections in my daily life. Every time it's important to every time examining in my body, speech, mind actions. That's how we need to understand through by the understanding faults and benefit. So within these two, call it the faults are first. It's the four stanzas talking about the faults of not examining your mind, the failing guide of the minds. Yeah, okay. Yeah,
So,
Chobe, help me
so
read this. Yeah.
2, 6, 7, and 8, then, yes.
Yes.
Untamed mad elephants do not inflict as much harm in this world as does the unleashed elephant of the mind in the Avicii hell and the like. 6, for the propounder of truth said that all fears and immeasurable sufferings arise from the mind only. 7, who diligently constructed the weapons in hell, who devised the floor of heated iron, and from where have those women come? And 8, the sage declared that all that has arisen from the evil mind, so there is nothing else in the three worlds more formidable than the mind.
Okay. So now it's mine. Giving example as an elephant right here, untamed and mad elephants. So the exactly mind act as like this in our mind is act like exactly untamed elephant and the mad elephant. So it's strong and then it's mess up everything and destroying so many things. Same way, our mind is destroying ruining our life, destroying a lot of the cause of happiness, and then always toward to collected the cause of suffering, right? So then this is the exactly the giving the same word called suitable with this example, very suitable with this example. Um, Sometimes we do not know the power of mind. So again, if you examining it, then we will know the power of mind, right? So um, and then you can understand. Okay, if I need to change anything before, I have to change mine, whether it's my calm down or so on, so on. That's the how we will understand, right? So it's good to know the power in mind, and as I mentioned earlier, everything's driven by mind, and then most of our action in our daily life, right? And then let's say when desire arises, even it's happening with the kids and adult both. When we have a strong wishing to go somewhere or outside, sorry, or to wishing to get something, then no one can stop it, right? So that much strong determination comes. So then no one can stop it. Just that much the mind is strong actually. Even you will have regret in future um, when someone try to stop you not listening it. You will have regret in future. That much strong, right? It's caused a lot of problem in the future. At the moment, uh, it's strong, that much strong. Even sometimes the people killing each other because because of the intention, right? And then even killing yourself as well, which is most cherished or most lovers within this life is ourself, I, myself, right? And then even the killing yourself, then of course, then what we cannot do when mind become more stronger, nothing can stop, right? So that much strong. And then knowing that quality of mind. Also, other side, also there, if you try to stop, it can be. Only the small slight reason can change here and there. If you're really strong, the intention to go outside, simple reason applied, one or two reasons you think better not go, then you can change your mind. So then you can stop to go outside, which you have a strong wish. Also, mind do have this kind of quality, right? So and then but only the difference is you control or not, or that's the only difference. Once you control, then you can do it. Once you're not control, then mind is powerful, very powerful, and like a mad elephants, right? But always we should know that yes, we can control our mind. Definitely, we can control our mind. We should know this, right? So otherwise, at the same time, my mind's any intention or thoughts come that much strong that we never feel that I can change it, right? So
Didn't get that. Did you try again?
we, um, no, my phone is complaining now. So yeah, what I'm talking here. So okay, if you're not controlled, that yeah, when we will feel that, yeah, we will feel that. So I'm out of control. I cannot do anything. Actually, we can do it. So, but we will feel sometimes like this. Um, but knowing the quality of minds, that definitely we can do it. Whatever, right? So. We cannot say I cannot stop this thought and that thought. So sometimes too much distracted, and then you really want to stop that thought, annoying and like affection, a lot of different emotion, right? So the body said I couldn't stop it. I tried to meditate it, but still I couldn't stop it, right? And then I tried this and that, but still I couldn't stop it. Then we feel I'm out of control. Maybe different is you will not found exactly the method how can you stop, or maybe we are missing could be the skillful way to stop. If meditation is not help, what we have to find it out why we how we can stop it. But the point is definitely we can stop any thoughts that annoying to you and causing you problem, right? Only the reason that we have to find out the skillful method at the moment. Or sometimes, yes, is that once anger arises, it's definitely we are out of control. We are out of control. But this is whatever you try to apply as any remedy, it not help. We know that, right? So, but that is not the reason that that the remedy is not functioning at the moment, right? The practice is not helping at the moment. It's not the only reason that because the remedy is weak. That's the reason. So therefore, always hear mentioning in our class, say, do practice daily life, then you can control your mind. Do practice daily life, then you can control your anger at the moment. The remedy will become more stronger, then you can apply. Whenever you apply the remedies, it will exactly can stop it. So whatever point he is saying, we can control our mind 100%. That's we should know that, right? So, and then, yes, then after that, uh, once we control one time, two time, then we get more familiar, and then we will more interesting, have more interesting or encouragement. That's how we can control it, right? So when I was young, the master is saying, um, right now, all the thoughts and mind controlling us, we cannot control our mind. But practice yourself, become able to control your mind. You will. So that's this still in my mind. Even I hear it very young time. That's very strong advice. So and then same I can share to you. Yeah. Okay, anyhow, so is there any further discussion on teacher or study or controlling mind? Or do you have any further need clarification or question? Please let me know. So in general, oh, so someone saying something?
Oh, Geshe.
Yes,
So I'm trying to understand. So am I using my mind to control my mind? Is that how it
yes, it
works?
is. It is.
So it's like, ooh, okay.
The mind is, the confusion is if you use the both mind, that makes you confused. Using your one side of mind, one part of mind, which is here, like introspections and recollections, using the recollection and introspections, and then the control your main mind. This kind of things you need to understand. Yeah.
Oh,
Not mind to
okay.
mind. Yeah.
I can see where that's kind of hard, but yeah,
Yeah.
I,
Yeah.
I understand what you're saying. Thank you.
Yeah. It is hard, or is it also simple? Let's say you can test it. Say again, let's say you want to do some unnecessary things, and then as at the moment you the watching your the mind, right? Then you're finding it's unnecessary things. That's two different, right? So watching and the main mind is actually wants to do some unnecessary things. The intentions there, thoughts there. And once the mind is watching, am I doing right way or wrong way? And then finding it's unnecessary, then other you have stopped it to thinking, reasoning. So what thinking, reasoning is different than the mind thoughts that you what you do wants to do it. So there are so many different mind, right? So usually we're saying like a 57 or 72 secondary mind. All this like a functioning together with the main mind and then driven here and there. So there's those 78 or 72 like a secondary minds. If you can try to control like a simple way in our daily life, then we will notice that I can do better. Okay, anyone?
So I have another question or maybe a comment.
Sure,
So
no problem.
I'm watching my mind. My husband has dementia, and he'll talk to me and talk to me until I can to a certain point, then at a point I'm almost physically can't take it anymore.
Hmm.
So what's the process of you know being able to continue listening to something that actually bothers me, like physically?
Hmm. Yeah, for example, kind of like could be this kind of example, right? So too much thinking get headache, the physically problem, right?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah. So then anyhow, the process we should begin from meditation. That's the best way to do it. And the simple meditation, breathing meditation, and every day, right? And then
Uh-huh.
also finding out um, the essence of life, combination of these two. So the makes like a more, I can say, definitely, we can. It is can stop so many negative or unnecessary thoughts. It can stop. So because one way you can think, okay, I can easily give up because it's not my essence of life, or it's not anything that helping me to get my essence of life. And then on the other side, you are meditating with the breathing. So meditating with the breathing will calm minds, and then thinking, the finding first we have to find it out the essence of life, and then whatever essence of life that you try to accomplish it, and based on that, whatever things are not as like benefiting to have essence of life makes your essence of life better, then you can easily can remove it because my essence of life this are not worked. This is useless. That's kind of things help. But bottom line, I can say the meditations, it's a big help.
Okay. So when you say essence of life, are you talking about what you said, like this is not useful? Is that what you're saying? I'm not sure if I
Let's
understand
say,
essence of life.
yeah. So the essence of life, there are so many different opinions there through by the different religions, different study, different book, different knowledge, right? So many things will say, but the Buddhist and always his Holiness Dalai Lama share to us the base on the Buddhist what call point, saying essence of life is happiness, right? So if the essence of life is happiness, then um, is there anything that not bringing me happiness? Then why I should have it, right? If I'm going outside, right, it's not happy, then why I should go outside? Or like thinking a lot of negative or thinking a lot of unnecessary is not helping me to have happiness, then I would do that, right? So that's one point. And another for me, the essence of life is making next life better, right? So whatever I do in this life always connected to the having next life better. Based on that, I'm thinking what should do right now. Do non-virtuous actions do should lie or not lie? Then when I look at the next lie better, it says not lie. Then I stop to lie, right? Should idle gossip or not idle gossip? And I can connect it to my next life as my goal, then not idle gossip, or so on, so on. All these non-virtues and virtues, because next lives better the cause is the morality, special 10 virtues morality is the main cause of next high reps, next life better. So then this life, I have to collect it, the virtues practice as much as I can, no matter what going near me, what happening surrounding me, what happening in the world, no matter this. As the goal is the next life, I only need to try to collect it, um, the virtues action as a part, and for the make it a more successful life, I also need to be collected, have warm heartedness and compassion or kind mind to others, or good hearted. So all this that driven by the goal or essence of life. My essence of life in next life, right? Kind of like this. These are the example.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Hmm. But it's very important to finding out this essence of life, and then you can easily take a determinations to whether you do it or not do it, whether you engage or not, abandon it. It's easily can determine it because you clear with your essence of life, right? Or if you are just flowing, don't have any goal, then you will lost last. Many times you will lost. As we lost, then we got nothing at the end. Okay, any other? Okay. So, do you have any further discussion about the teacher? Because here, not that much familiar to thinking important. And then also, for us, teacher is one of the employees, right? Worker who work for money. Um, that's so far we seeing that way, and then that is exactly happening, right? So, what is your like a the live then I'm teacher, so that means like a surviving life with the teacher. So it's kind of employed. That's we look at the one of the employees, right? So, but um, yeah. Anyhow, if you need really further discussion on it to make more clear that we can do it, you can 100% right to say rejecting it with a reason. If you have a good reason, then say, I'm going to reject this point or this idea because without this, I can do so many things. I achieved so many things, right? So, or you can say, oh, yes, it's important, right? Whatever. So anything that it comes in your mind to bring it discuss part of the discussion, we can do further discussion, makes more clear.
Geshe,
Yes, please.
so I think what you're saying is very important, and I think um, if I were to think when you were comparing the East to the West,
Uh-huh.
I don't necessarily agree that it says black and white. I
Uh-huh.
think in some culture in the United States, some religions that I think they're not the teacher, but maybe the priest or the
Uh-huh.
the the leader was
Uh-huh.
the most important piece of family and culture in some areas. But my
Uh-huh.
thinking now is, and that's changed somewhat, but I think because we're so diverse with so many different cultures, that it really depends, right? It really depends on what, like it's spotty. I'm not saying I guess what I'm trying to say, it's not black and white. I think I
Mhm.
remember, growing up with a very, very heavy Catholic influence, and all the families, it was very important to to go to church, to honor your priest, to listen, to do all of those things. It's just died out. It's not as pervasive as it was when I grew up. Does that make sense? So
I
I think I'm,
understand.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I understand. So what I can say, sometime we can examine it, using word, the leader, using word teacher, and then which makes you more closer. The leader word makes you closer, or teacher word makes you closer. Just word examining, right? So, and then also um, leader could be the teacher, right? And on the other hand, we are talking here. Teacher is necessary here. The path we never ever engaged before. right? So we never know, we've never been even the previous lifetime. Of course, in this lifetime, we never been, we never know. Completely like a dark for us. So at that point, so the like I say, um, either like yeah. So the okay, let me think again. So it's the completely dark, and then that whatever idea we receive from what we consider either leader or teacher, right? So how much it's benefit in our daily life, is this useful or not? All right, it is um, like a the practical or not, right? So looking that based on that, if you found some are founding that okay, my leader is this, my teacher is that one. So say Angulimala, right? Angulimala in our the one of the example in our Buddhist, the guy killed 999 people. Um, so then wearing their thumbs as a garland. So the his goal is actually wants to be free from suffering and enlightened, and then misguided, right? And then he very much believe on that, and he follow it exactly, and he killed 999. And when we look at this way, so we see it's definitely not the right path. Killing other is not the right path. Even we can see that. It's because it's painful, it's harmful, right? We can see that. But the person who is following the instruction will not see that. So this is the important part, who you should have teacher. And then here we're talking about the qualified teacher, right? Not rely on any teacher, qualified teacher. Qualified teacher based on accomplishing that our peaceful life. So and then sometime we see here some teacher are deceiving to others for money, right? So say, okay, uh, you will have a better life. I can do that. I can just change your life. And then people too much believe, and then someone said, no, they don't have a power for that. They cannot do that. Even not listening it. That much devoted and listening. Okay, my teacher can change me everything. My teacher can change my next life better. My teacher can enlighten to me. My teacher can do so many things, right? Which Buddha cannot do it. So, and then we very much believe on that and follow that instruction, not listening any other instructions. Then again, you are definitely towards to the wrong path, right? So that regarding that, we should find the authentic teacher who is a qualified. Then we will not lead us the wasting our life or negative total negative or any suffering, right? So this kind of things that we're talking here, the teacher and qualified teacher. I don't think you all have a clear on that, because what I thought before I want to say it, I switch it and change it, and I change say different things. Okay.
Yeah, so I think it's very clear what you're saying. Don't worry.
Okay. Uh, yeah. Okay. See, it's important. That's you got to look at that way. Then you'll see how much it's important, right? Mm. Not it's simply not saying you should have a teacher, but it's saying here rely on teacher which is qualified based on achieving your goal. That's how we need to look at it. And then we will understand how much is important.
Geshe-la,
Yes, please.
you
Go
said
ahead,
that
go ahead.
you said there was a secondary mind,
Yes.
and there's other minds beyond that, like a third type of mind, right? Is that did you say
Uh,
that as well or not? Or hint to that?
in generally, yes, there we counted the two type of mind, principal mind and secondary mind. But 4 or 5 minds are functioning together. That's very much possible.
4 to 5?
4 or 5 mind let's say
Oh,
whenever the principal mind is like our mental consciousness, right?
yeah.
So whether it's conceptual thought or non-conceptual thought, it is the mental consciousness principal mind, and it is definitely associating with the 5 different like a secondary mind, such as like aspiration or concentration or feeling, um, uh, or what call the recollections. I think it's first the wisdom. Yeah, that's definitely associating with these 5 together, and then plus we do have all the other secondary mind as well.
Okay.
Would
Let's
you
say,
say,
for example, the faith is the one of the secondary mind, and the principal mind is, which is at the moments like a what called understanding of whatever you have faith,
Okay.
right? Say, look at the Buddha, and you look at the Buddha, and then you are one of the principal consciousness, seeing Buddha through by your eye consciousness. Then, same time, you do have a faith. Same time, you do have a feeling, or could be same time you do might have a aspiration to attaining as Buddha. So all this functioning together.
Okay.
Yeah.
is the intellectual mind one part of the mind?
What really mean?
Like this ability to process vast amount of information, as you
Uh-huh.
see in the West with the AI, where you can ask questions and respond like a mind. Is it a part of the mind, the intellect?
I think it is part of the mind.
Cannot be considered a mind, one type of mind.
Cannot be totally different than main mind. It's always one part of, let's say, the a simple way to example, let's say when we go to the school, we're a student. And when we come to the house, we are children. And then when we the dancing on the stage, we are dancer.
Okay.
But same person,
Mhm.
right? Same person becoming dancer, teacher, student, or the children with parents. So same way, the main mind and the function in many different way. So this kind of like connections, the secondary mind and main mind. It's not two different things are associating with each other. It is part of that.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So then we're going to stop here if you do not have any other things.
Geshe, I just want to make an announcement.
Sure. Okay, go ahead, please.
Yeah. So next week is our spring cleanup on Saturday. And just wanted to mention, if you are able to come at all, if you can register if you haven't already, just so we can plan for lunch, because we will provide lunch for everyone that day. So I just wanted to mention that.
Okay, thank
You'll
you.
come home to a very clean property.
Okay, thank you so much. Yeah. Okay, then have a wonderful day, everyone. Then have a good celebrate your Mother's Day.
Thank you, Geshe.
Okay, thank you.
Bye-bye.
Eric, where are you?
Thank
You
you.
went back or you still in
Oh no,
Connecticut?
I'm in Canada for good.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
Okay.
I'm back for my little visit, but I'm up. Yeah, I'm up
Okay.
for